and the delight of your soul. And the sons and daughters you left behind will fall by the sword. Then you will do as I have done. You will not cover your lips or eat the bread of mourners. Your turbans will remain on your heads, and your sandals on your feet. You will not mourn or weep, but you will waste away because of your sins, and you will groan among yourselves. Thus Ezekiel will be a sign for you. You will do everything that he has done. When this happens, you will know that I am the Lord God. And you, Son of Man, know that on the day I take away their stronghold, their pride and joy, the desire of their eyes which uplifted their souls, and their sons and daughters as well, on that day a fugitive will come and tell you the news. On that day your mouth will be opened to him who has escaped. You will speak and no longer be mute. So you will be a sign to them, and they will know that I am the Lord.
Groovy.
Motherfucker! God damn, it sounds better when I say it! Who let this motherfucking guy read the motherfucking Bible?
Hello. Welcome to another edition of the Night Party Podcast, where we live it all on the cutting room floor. Talk about creative licensing there, Mr. Tarantino. Yes, welcome to the show. This is going to be a two-parter here, Pulp Fact and Pulp Fiction, to start off our Quentin Tarantino month. Everyone, say hello. We got H1N1 Zombies in the house.
What's up, everybody?
We got Antonius Morgan in the house.
Oh, hello.
And today's knife is a goddamn Hattori Hanzo blade?
Hattori Hanzo, yeah.
Yeah, because it is used in this movie. They even mention
it is,
it.
yeah.
They even mention it in Kill Bill.
Right.
Yes. So
We actually get to meet him in Kill Bill.
yes, we do. And wait, is that in part 2 or part 1? That's part 1, right?
I don't remember. They all fucking bleed together at this point. But
well,
I'm pretty sure it's part 1.
Number 2
Yeah.
is way better than number 1, in my opinion. We
I
all
like
have
them
our
both.
Yeah.
But they're not as good as this movie.
No, this is
Oh,
not. So this is
that's
what
a fact.
this is what put Quentin Tarantino on the map. But Foyce, Caps and Cork on the borderlands of Vallejo and American Canyon and Napa, and that's where you get these premium beers that we are drinking. You got these at Caps?
I got them at Caps. Yeah.
So today we're drinking a coffee sauté. State. I could read.
You can read. That's what happens when you have too many of them. And I'm drinking the Heretic Chocolate Hazelnut Porter.
This is my second beer, Dick.
Not my fault you're a lightweight.
Well, it's because they're buy 9 get 1 for a penny, and also their ultimate selection makes them the best micro beer spot. Am I right, Antonius Morgan?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
There you go. So anyway, Caps and Cork, very good sponsors, and they're at the $5 level, and that's also how they can enjoy great shows such as the Power Glove podcast, and also some new Slime Rex I found out, and of course Jeff the Tech Face the Mirror. I should just start this whole thing over, but I'm not.
Nope.
Motherfucker, I just gotta go Sam Jackson. Fuck it, we'll do it live. God damn it. No Stone Cold Jackson.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
And you can join the party at $1, and you can hear this on time. If not, you're probably a month behind. Also, too, because we're so many episodes ahead, I'm not airing all of them. I'm only airing. So there's some that I'm like, they're good, but this seems like it should be a Patreon only kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe it's not so cookie cutter or whatever. So if you're a regular listener, now you're missing out on other episodes too. So you're only getting your once a week. You wanna get your whole fix. You got to join the party. It's only $1. It's $12 a year. It's easy math to do. Come on now.
We love you guys, but you got to pay.
You also can stop the bike at $20, be on the show, and you could tell us what to watch. But right now, for all $1 members, and even on Twitter, if you're on X or whatever you want to call it, if you follow me at Father Heel, Heel, spelled like your foot, I always have the weekly polls up of what we should do. And this one, Tarantino month, I knew it would. Who didn't? It's Pulp Fiction. It's what got us all into Tarantino.
Exactly.
This movie's fantastic. It still holds up. I didn't watch all of it because I had today off, and I'm like, dude, have you ever seen this on the big screen? I have never.
No, never. No. Yeah.
I've never seen this on the big screen. I've always watched it on a very edited cable version, but normally I had this on a VHS cassette that was so fucking worn out, dude. I'm telling you, because I got this in Christmas of 1995 or 1994 going into 95.
Yeah.
I must have played this motherfucker like from 7th grade. I remember I got a bunch of, that's when I really, really got into, because I wasn't living in my Nana's house anymore, so I didn't have access to all my cool movies.
Okay.
I had to start my own collection, and I got Demon Knight, Interview with the Vampire, and Bram Stoker's Dracula, and then The Crow. Those were my first 5 movies.
Nice. Okay.
And Willy
Not a
Wonka.
bad list.
And Willy Wonka. And dude, I'm telling you, this is how I'd watch movies. If like, say I would watch it and I would either get bored or something came up or dinner time or whatever, I would just hit stop, eject, so that way no one fucked my tape, put it back in the sleeve, and I'd never rewind it and start over. I'd always start from where I left off.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like a cassette tape.
Yeah.
And the great thing about this movie is it works this way almost better than having to, because it jumps around so much.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't jump around. It's only actually 3 stories. Mm-hmm. But
a couple of them tie up together at some points. Yeah.
they all tie up because they all tie up around the main god character, if you will, right, which is Big Man. Mm-hmm. So every story has something to do with Big Man in one way, shape, or form, right? Which then coincides with the suitcase, but it doesn't really happen with Bruce Willis' character. We'll get into that for a minute.
Yeah.
So, our plugs is patreon.com/knifepartypod. Go there, join up for $1. Also, you can email us at knifepartypod@yahoo.com. And you should go crank call Hoodcast AF if you're bored. With your best Sam Jackson, just lay off the N's and more MFs, okay?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Because we want him to air them.
I would have done it. I can't do Sam Jackson. I can't. It's not in my range.
You just got to practice, man. I can't do it either, but everyone knows you're doing a Sam Jackson if you just yell Sam Jackson shit. You just got to yell a lot. Do you like my movies?
Dave Chappelle did pretty good with that.
Yeah, I know, because he doesn't even sound
beer.
like All right, so I got some fun facts before we go ahead and start this film. Okay, so I have a lot of fun facts. All right. So first, how this came about. Okay, let's go back to Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
Sam Raimi.
Okay. Scott Spiegel was one of the co-writers with it, right? So Tarantino was a huge fan of this
Oh.
writer. And Tarantino was actually writing for like a living, basically writing scripts.
Okay.
So Tarantino actually put his script for Natural Born Killers in his hand. And he read it and he was like, yo, this should have already been a movie 20 years ago.
Yeah.
This movie's, I'm surprised it hasn't been made. It's a social commentary with murder and sex and intrigue and who's the real bad guy here and 1984 things going on. And so he goes, what else he got? And he goes, well, I just sold this one, True Romance.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he had some money. So Scott lets him like live on his couch, and for to earn his keep, Tarantino would box up movies like video cassettes and ship them off.
Okay.
And live on his couch.
Yeah.
And rub elbows with people. So, they're sitting around, they're talking everything else, and Scott and Quint they start writing. Obviously, because they're both writers.
Yeah.
So they start writing, and they both like this movie called Black Monday, I believe it's called.
Okay.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and it's like an Italian horror film or some shit like that. It matters not. But the idea of the movie is that, and the movie I always love, it's Lovecraftian horror, The Signal.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what this movie was like. It was 3 directors with 3 different writers trying to make one story work.
Yeah, okay.
So you have part 1, part 2, part 3. We got to do The Signal, dude. That's still on the list.
We haven't done Signal yet?
I know.
No.
Wow.
No, I want to do Signal and Pontypool. Like, I want to do a versus. Because seeing how they're very close,
That would be a cool one.
that would be a very cool versus. Because if you think about it, Signal and Pontypool could be going on at the same time.
They very much could. Yes.
Yes. So there you go. Anyway, so they're sitting around and then they decide, okay, we'll check it out. I'll write the first one, says Scott, and then you could write the second one, Quint. And then it's unclear if it was going to be Robert Rodriguez was going to be number 3, but there was going to be a number 3.
That's who I assumed you were going to say next.
But also the producer, his name is I'm going to look it up in a second. The producer of Pulp Fiction actually may have wanted to have been the 3rd, so it was kind of up in the air. But it was just a running idea. Now, because Scott was busy and et cetera, and then Robert Rodriguez was doing something. I think it was called like Shy Girl or Baby Girl or
maybe Baby
or Zoe
Girl.
or so I saw Zoe. It's got a weird title, but anyway, he was working on that. So Quentin was bored, and out of all these people, by the way, he was the least successful. He starts writing his part bigger and bigger and bigger, and it later just became Reservoir Dogs. So he just kept writing on his over and over and over again. Right. So he gets that produced for like almost, he was so scared like to even be a director. He's like, can you actually do that? And can you do, am I being too mean? Am I being too loud? And they're like, no, you're supposed to do this. It's called directing. Right. And Reservoir Dogs is a hit.
Yeah, 100%.
And
great movie.
It's one of those movies just like Suicide Kings where the whole movie takes place in one area.
Right.
You have some action going on here and there, but not too much. I mean, if you actually watch that movie, there is because I don't know if we're going to cover it this year for Tarantino month, but there's a bathroom scene with cops. That's a story. Yep. There's the rooftop scene. There's the heist scene, but it's not even the heist scene. It's just them running away from the heist. Like you don't even see the jewelry store, and which is the car scene. And then, and then there's a diner, but most everything takes place in that garage.
Yeah.
Right. Very easy to film. That cost $50,000 to make.
Wow.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what they played the talent, but that is one of the cheapest movies I've ever heard of.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Well, besides Godzilla.
Well, yeah, but Godzilla wasn't 50.
No, it was 15, and it was made this year.
Not 1,000.
Well, 1,000.
1,000.
Oh, okay.
1,000 with the T.
I was thinking million.
No way. Anyway, so Quint gets a lot of respect, like overnight. Now, turns out when he's at Cannes Film Festival and everything, Sam Jackson was not a name at all, right? But he was very well respected, and he actually tried out for Mr. Orange.
Oh,
Tim Roth's character,
the
guy bleeding on the ground, the detective. He actually was going to do that, but I guess Quint thought Tim Roth was more vulnerable and easier to put your character in, because he's kind of like blank. He's not. Whereas Sam Jackson's got a lot of character.
I can picture Sam Jackson.
I'm bleeding to death, motherfucker.
Say I won't die. Say I won't die again, motherfucker. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker.
Are you a doctor? You're not going to die. You're gunshot. You're hurt. But it's going to take you 8 hours to bleed out. Say the words. I'm not going to die, motherfucker, in the back of the car. I ain't no snitch, bitch.
We need to make this movie now.
Like with Muppets, though.
Oh, God.
Pulp Fiction with Muppets, that would be... no. Reservoir Dogs,
with Muppets.
Yeah.
I'm bleeding on the ground. I'm a sock bleeding on the ground. I'm bleeding out. I'm sucking out.
Yeah, that would be great.
I would definitely have Gonzo as Mr. Orange.
Dude, at Evergreen Science Theater, we should do reenact. You know what? That's our YouTube show right there. We just reenact our greatest scenes with Muppets. And I do all the voices, and you guys just nod your heads as I film it.
I do a couple voices.
Yeah, there you go. Well, so anyway, that's how this kind of got off the ground. TriStar picked it up, or was about to, because everyone's going, this Quint guy, oh man, he's so awesome. You got to see this movie. And people said it was like way too violent when they saw Reservoir Dogs, right? And then the producer of it, this chick lady face who looks super, super just like a librarian. Like you wouldn't even know. She looks like an old cat lady. Mm-hmm. You would never know she produced this movie. She just says, no, look at how it's shot. It's actually very artistic.
Yeah.
Rewatch the fucking movie.
Right.
She's correct.
And TriStar goes, okay, we see it. We're in. Right? TriStar greenlights it. Mm-hmm. Then guess what happens? TriStar gets a copy of the updated script. And they go, well, how come he dies in this scene and he's here later? And how come this happens here, but then later on it doesn't happen? And Tarantino's got his head in his palm in his hand. He's like, you didn't fucking read the script, did you?
Yeah.
Because it's multiple stories taking place at the same time.
Right.
And the TriStars are like, we're really not interested in confusing the audience. So we're going to have to pass.
That's
Bastards.
dumb.
So then
Missed out.
A hit movie came out a little bit before called The Crow, which gave Miramax a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And Miramax said, this dark, edgy shit seems to be working for us. And all these scripts, all these other companies start throwing out. This might be a good opportunity. And this guy's got a buzz behind him.
Yeah.
And we've seen him in... Fuck it. We'll buy it. Like, how much? And Tarantino lowballs. He thought like it would be a negotiating point. He goes like $8,000. They're like, done. Or sorry, $8 mil. And they're like, done.
Oh, 8 million. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, man,
8 mil. And no, that probably was what he got. And then Tarantino wanted all these actors in it, right? Travolta, which Travolta wasn't the Travolta today. He had 2 giant movie, and then he had the Look Who's Talking series, which made him a lot of money, but like not a lot of clout as an actor.
Right.
And he did like a lot of just
Grease.
he did Grease and Saturday Night Fever, and he was huge. And then he did a lot of like I said, a lot,
More campy kind of goofy movie.
Hey, he was coming off
family comedies.
Yeah.
He was coming off Broken Arrow, wasn't he?
Mm-mm.
No?
No, that was after.
That was 96 or 97.
Yeah.
Oh, that was after. Oh.
Yeah, this was filming in 93. So
This movie brought Travolta
back, yeah.
Like, huge.
And also this brought Sam Jackson, who is more of a theater guy, if you will, to actually bigger screens. Let's put it that way. Because I know he did movies. I just don't know like how big of movies he did. Because
if this brought Travolta back, this movie is now responsible for Battlefield Earth.
First off, that's not a bad movie. Not as bad as everyone says. No.
It's pretty fucking bad.
No, it's bad, but it's not as bad as everyone says it is. A lot of people shit on it just because it's a Scientology movie, when you should be shitting on it's the way it was filmed is terrible. However, the story isn't that bad.
It's the Nickelback of movies. Everyone shits on it because it's popular. It's not as bad as everyone says it is, but it's still pretty fucking bad.
You leave Nickelback out of this because Nickelback are a good band. Okay.
No, they're not. They're not.
And I'm going to say you think Creed sucked too?
Yeah.
Oh, Creed was terrible. Yeah.
And now you're going to say Justin Timberlake is garbage as well.
He has some good songs, actually.
Okay, at least I got one out of 3.
it's catchy. Yeah.
Something like that. All right, so anyway, so where the hell was I? Of course, $8 million. Quentin wants to spend everything on acting because he says he could use his like guerrilla style of filming and get away with murder, and he does. And like a lot of this, if you see the actual sets, they're real life sets in LA. Like, for instance, there was a trailer where they filmed the whole like heart attack resuscitation scene and all that. It's actually like a real trailer park. So instead of doing a set, they're just like, hey, let's rent one out. It'll be cheaper. They did like the porno movie status thing where you just rent a house instead of building a set.
Right.
And they're just like, don't fuck up the house because it's a real house. Okay. Buy insurance for it. And if you notice, like the biggest prop in the movie is probably the wolf's car. That's it.
I was just going to say the same thing, the car.
Yeah, the Acura. Mm-hmm. Besides that, all the other cars are garbage. There's like a crappy Honda. Oh, and maybe the Zed's bike, but that's it. But yeah, everything else was real sets, really easy to do. He knew what locations, so that's why I call it guerrilla filming. It's like, if you were going to film a movie, you would think, all right, I only have so much money, and I know these real places, and I'm pretty sure I can grease the wheels and just say, hey, man, can we come in here and like film for like 3 hours and we'll leave it cleaner than we left it?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how they did it. So $5 million went on the cast, and $3 million was on film. That's about it. No promotion. Almost until Miramax saw it and got more money in promoting it.
Yeah.
But it's not like, it's kind of like we were just talking about the newest Godzilla. I saw zero promotion except for online buzz. Mm-hmm. And now it's got enough buzz, but.
That's probably also why this movie really popped off once DVD sales were a thing in the early 2000s.
Pre-internet, this popped off though.
Oh yeah. No, you couldn't go into, a mall without seeing the poster of fucking what's her name, with her heels up smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah, that poster was everywhere.
Dude, you went to any
That
record
was
store.
quotable as shit.
Any record store had that soundtrack on the front gondola,
Yep,
and they had that poster like Amoeba, Rasputin's, Virgin. Like this soundtrack also helped catapult it to being like a huge success. I don't know one person. I know in every clique someone had a house that had that album because I remember cutting up weed on that album so many times on that CD. Am I wrong?
That's a good album.
No, you're definitely not wrong at all.
Like everyone had that album. Like, or I didn't, but I knew at least 2 of my ex-girlfriends had that album. Like at that time, you know, meaning like in that area, not like now and then. I mean, like during high school.
It's one of those '90s albums that everyone had.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like that. It was either you had that or the Dazed and Confused album, and then I was the weird one that had the Demon Knight soundtrack because it had Ministry and Pantera on it, and it was a lot
and
better.
I had Spawn '97.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought you hate that movie. Wait, who's the one that hates
Bitchin'
that movie?
soundtrack. I don't like it.
Yeah,
but
he's the one
Bitchin'
that doesn't
soundtrack.
like it.
Okay, so crime genre, obviously, October 14th is when it released. And it says, but it doesn't say, but I do know for a fact that it was released on September 23rd of 94, because during the adrenaline shot scene, someone actually had a seizure because it freaked them out so much. Get this. The person's having a seizure in the theater's freaking out.
Yeah.
Guess who comes to the rescue? Harvey Keitel. Dig.
It was like a premiere?
Yeah,
when
it was
this
the
happened?
premiere.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, at the premiere of Pulp Fiction, during the scene where Mia overdoses, someone freaked out because it was so real, and they started having a seizure. Harvey Keitel happened to be like Johnny on the spot, pulls the person out, and gives them like Coca-Cola or orange juice or whatever to get their blood sugar back.
Yeah.
They open up and they're like, Harvey Keitel? Think about that. That's like the weirdest
would be
story of all the
awesome.
time, right? It's like, can I tell you the story about when Harvey Keitel saved my life?
Yeah, right?
Exactly. Like, you can't beat that.
That's cool.
It is. Let's see. Lawrence Bender is the producer. That's the guy I was looking for. Let's see. Other special things. This, of course, ended what I always call the golden age, which was 84 to 94. The best movies, in my opinion, in the world were in that decade.
Yeah.
You know, most movie professors, though, will say it's 74 to 94. I'll still accept.
Can we push it to 95 so Fifth Element gets in there?
Fifth Element is such a good movie, but, I mean, I don't want to take
amazing performance.
I don't want to take away 1984 though and just go 85 to there. I'm saying
no. We got 84, 95. Yeah, leave 84 in there. Some good shit.
got it
84.
right. Let's see. Scott Quint, Natural Killer, let's see. On an $8 million budget, $214 million in opening weekend, and it wasn't like they do it now.
That's a good ROI.
It's not back then where it started Thursday at 11:59 p.m.
Right.
or even now they're doing Wednesday. No, this is Friday, 8:00.
Right.
Yep.
And it wasn't in all the theaters. It was in limited theaters.
Yeah.
This wasn't where they had 2 or 3 screens just for the same fucking movie. So most people know if you went to go see Independence Day back in the day or you go see the Barbie movie or whatever, there'll be multiple screens for a film.
Yeah.
This didn't. This had a screen per film if you were lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this not even being able, remember it was in Concord. I remember I think it might have been in one of the Vallejo theaters.
Okay.
I think it may have been at the Fairfield one. It wasn't even in the mall yet. But
I honestly don't even remember it being in theaters.
That's what I'm saying. Let's see. Miramax, and this actually got off the map. Sam Jackson. Oh, yeah, this created the Bastards universe because the Bastards universe was not even a thing yet. This was the first Reservoir Dogs was just going to be a crime movie.
Yeah.
heist movie. Yep.
And then this is where Tarantino started to try to create his own genre, his own timeline, his own universe. Yeah. So hence, so it kind of happened on accident where Vic Vega, this was going to be a prequel to Reservoir Dogs at first, or it was going to be his twin brother or something.
Right.
And then he was on the set of Wyatt Earp, Michael Mann was, and he goes, well, shit, I need to find somebody else. And he thought John Travolta and him had kind of had the similar look in the eyes, in the forehead. And John Travolta was willing, and he wanted to work with him. So he's like, well, shit, yeah, we'll get him, and we'll change to Vince. We'll have the Vega brothers. And that's kind of where it started. And then,
Vic and Vincent. Yeah.
And then a lot of people started making rumors and everything else like this. And then as it started going, when Jackie Brown came around, like the internet was still young, but people started placing them all together, and then he ran with it. Him being Quentin Tarantino. And then in Inglourious Bastards, a timeline actually came out where by the killing of Hitler, it changed our timeline here. It was a paradox.
Okay.
So by Hitler dying actually started, or it was part of it, and then people argue, okay, well, what about Django and what about this? I'm like, okay, well, still, but anyway. But that's why it's known as the Bastards universe.
Okay.
So I didn't realize they were connected like that.
They are. Every single movie is in a timeline. And where they even, like, there'll be one little reference to this, that, or the other. For instance, you mentioned the poster, right?
Yeah.
Now, that poster is a copy of a Lucky Strikes, it was a...
advertisement?
There was a pulp noir book. I forgot exactly which one it is. Fallout even make fun of it. It's called...
Yeah.
Can you do the voice? It's weird here, and you just say Lucky Strike all normal like.
Oh, okay, sorry. It was a part of Lucky Strikes, that's right. World War I is in full swing, and Lucky Strike helps the T-Zone. That must make our doughboys fight the good fight. Take that, Hitler. Oh, wait, wrong war.
Thank you.
So the Pulp Fiction actually was those pulp comics. In fact, Fallout, the video game series, make fun of it all the time. There's Life and Love is the name of it, and there's like one that is exactly a copy of that too.
Okay.
And Fallout 4. So Lucky Strike was originally the cigarette chosen for Pulp Fiction. But yet it was denied because Lucky Strike did not like the violence depicted in this movie. So they made Red Apple cigarettes. That's right, Red Apple, no filters, for the T-Zone.
Wait, they sponsored a whole ass war, one of the greatest wars of all time, and they're not going to sponsor this movie because it's violent?
Well, they did call it the Great War.
Yeah, the Great War and World War II. That was in rations, man.
I know. My grandfather told me the reason he started smoking is because he got 5 Lucky Strikes a day in his rations.
Yeah.
And his friends would always ask for him. And then he's like, "Why are you asking for these?" And he smoked one. He goes, "Oh, that's why."
Yeah.
Flavor country.
And
my grandfather was in flavor country. He was at a 50 cal machine gun smoking a Lucky Strike, defending of America.
It filled the T-Zone?
That T-Zone. 5 out of 4 doctors recommend Lucky Strike. That math sounds wrong. Russia is the ally. That Mussolini guy was an upstanding gent. Anyway.
Where were we?
Red Apple cigarettes.
Here goes another fun fact. This stars 2 Arquettes.
Okay.
So Jody, the girl with all the shit in her face,
Yeah.
she's one of the Arquettes,
Yeah.
related to David.
Right.
And the dude that looks like Jerry Seinfeld that walks out with a hand cannon is also an Arquette, who later got a sex change. And I forgot her name. It escapes me, but I always call her Jerry Seinfeld Arquette.
Wow.
I don't know what her name is, I swear.
Yeah.
But she has been an actor, way longer than a male actor, so no one actually knows that Jerry Seinfeld Arquette is the same Arquette.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Google that shit. I'm not going to.
No, thank you.
Actually, you know what? I will. No, I'm not. I'm not.
No,
going to.
don't do it.
I'm not.
So
Don't do it.
what about... No, you haven't mentioned Ezekiel.
Ezekiel 25. Yes. So it's done. It's done in its own.
You heard it at the beginning, folks.
You heard it at the beginning.
It's different.
It's very different.
Yes.
Now, that is the... Okay, so Ezekiel 25:17 is... It's not one of those... It has been updated quasi-recently, but not in 1994. So what you heard me play is the Romans version, or whatever you call it, the old school version, but the new...
King James version?
King James, it doesn't have the turbans and stuff like that in it.
Yeah,
Because they want to be all inclusive and shit. And I was trying to find one that didn't have Sam Jackson yelling it, just to go, oh yeah, it's different, but I couldn't. But
Gotta be really hard.
But just like there was a quote in this movie at the very end when you have Honey Bunny and Sam Jackson's character Jules is like, now I just used to say that as some cold blood shit before I kill somebody. which was an idea stolen from Batman 89. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? What is that supposed to mean? I don't know. It's just some fucked up shit before he shoots somebody. So I think that's where that character got it from, because it's definitely referenced when they both say cold-blooded,
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, should we start
There's a much better Ezekiel quote they should have used.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, Ezekiel 23:20.
Motherfucker!
This is a real quote from. You know what? I want you to pull it up right now. Google Ezekiel 23:20. Here, I have it pulled up. Read this in the Sam Jackson voice.
All right, hold on.
That's the actual quote from the Bible.
There she lusted after her lovers, whose genitals were those like donkeys. And whose emission was a little of horses, motherfucker. Ezekiel 23:20. I'm gonna fuck you like a donkey now.
That's the real quote from the fucking Bible.
That's what was in the briefcase. Motherfucking testicles.
Word of the Lord, everyone.
Oh, let's get to that before we hit our trailer and start the movie.
Okay.
Fucking do it.
What's in the briefcase?
I've been told a human soul.
Okay, that was the big thing that everyone said, and that's why it glows. And then that's why Ving Rhames has the Band-Aid, because it's missing. Or it got put back. So Ving Rhames has the Band-Aid on his head, right? Mm-hmm. When he's talking to...
Yeah.
So...
I thought it's because he had hot dog neck and he had a shaved head, so I thought he nicked
I thought it was
himself.
because the ball gag.
No, Balgate came after.
No, he had that at the beginning.
Yeah,
That's the first thing he sees.
Yeah,
Okay.
when during the Butch scene,
Yeah.
right after that, he has the Band-Aid, right? So that's exactly when Jules and Vincent return the briefcase. So a lot of people that it's like, oh, I'm healed, my soul's back.
Okay.
But in all actuality, he cut himself, and there is no correlation to that being his soul. Okay? Now, the other theory is that, and I'm not fucking lying, because there's a couple, there's even a deleted scene where they talk about Elvis, like a
Okay.
big one, right?
Yeah.
This is why when Mia pulls up to Jackrabbit Slim's with Vincent,
Which is a real place.
it was.
Yeah.
It's not anymore. She says an Elvis man should love it, right? There's a whole cutout scene where they go Elvis versus Beatles or some shit like that, right? Cut out. You can find it. I do have it. And it's a lot smaller. Like, a lot of people think it's like really in depth. It's really just kind of like less than a 1 minute scene kind of thing.
Right.
And it's just them in the car just bullshitting while they're driving. And so a lot of people thought that it was Elvis's. Apparently, Elvis had a real gold suit that was stolen, and he never got to wear it.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people were thinking inside this fucking briefcase was Elvis's gold stolen suit. I swear to you.
That's kind of a cool story, and I like
That's
that.
kind of dope. Yeah.
Tying it into, L.A.
But because everyone is involved with drugs, and because Vincent's a heroin addict, I always thought it was uncut heroin. And because the people he get them from, they're clearly on something. Mm-hmm. With Flock of Seagulls, Brett and Brad,
Yep.
and Jerry Seinfeld Arquette, all of them are on drugs. Like, you could tell. They do not look like Flock of Seagulls is half pooped out, right? Brett is sitting there acting like Paul Shriver when like he gets busted by Hicks, and then Jerry Seinfeld Arquette is probably shooting up in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so also, like I said, everyone in this movie is involved in like dirty shit. I assume it was uncut heroin. That's why when he goes, Vincent, we happy? And he goes, oh, we happy, right? Then there was a special interview as a promotional for Grindhouse. Remember Grindhouse, the double feature?
Yeah.
Death Proof and Planet Terror, which Planet Terror I still stand by as saying one of the best zombie movies of all time.
It's great.
It is fucking great.
Once again, has Bruce Willis in it.
It does.
Yeah.
And there's also balls being cut off. So there was a intro to it where it shows him and Alex and they're promoting it as an interview, and then he goes, everyone wants to know what's in the suitcase. Well, I'll tell you what's in the suitcase. And the film burns out as kind of a troll.
Yeah.
But he said it on Opie and Anthony when he was making Inglourious Basterds in 2006. I actually heard they had Quentin in for an hour and a half.
Wow.
So it wasn't just like an interview. It was like a hang.
Yeah.
And he knew how much that Anthony and Patrice love movies.
Okay.
So they just shot the shit about like all these movies. In fact, at the time, Inglourious Basterds was going to be a motorcycle, like weird, like cult movie, not unlike the one, in fact, more based off of the movie that Bruce Willis wakes up to. In the hotel room. It was going to be like it was going to take away from that in some way, shape, or form. Like it was going to have that kind of style. Well, which in Glorious Bastards, we got something totally different. But still, it does have like kind of like that weird action-y comedy shit like once in a while, especially like the end of the movie. And he straight up said this. He goes, I really want it to be, I always call it the briefcase in Pulp Fiction, but they call it like the something rifle. There's a term for it, right? In stories where everything revolves around a rifle or revolves around something.
Are you talking about Chekhov's gun?
Chekhov's gun, thank you.
Yeah, if you have a gun on the wall in Act 1, it has to go off by Act 3. Yeah.
Exactly. Chekhov's gun, thank you. I knew it had something to do with Star Trek. So he wanted it to be that. Yeah, Chekhov? Captain,
Sorry,
can't you see?
Yeah, nope, I got it. Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm a millennial. When I think Star Trek, I immediately go Next Generation.
And when I think Star Wars, I immediately go to alcoholism. So anyway,
Same.
that he said it just wanted to be that. So he actually said, and he says, this is definitely what it is. What you think it is. And you're like, what does that mean? He goes, what do you think it is? That's what it is.
Yeah.
So we're all right, I guess.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I like that.
Yeah.
Being right.
I like being right.
Damn, we're only almost 40 minutes in. So we haven't even watched the movie yet.
Not yet.
This has been our episode, Pulp Fact. We're going to go ahead and play the trailer. And coming up, next episode, and don't worry, you're not going to have to wait a week.
Nope.
No.
You're going to get our actual review.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, guys. Anything else before we get out of here?
No.
Now playing on the cutting room floor.
Fuck the
Pulp
knife party.
Fiction.
Hey, you know what?
Fuck the knife party.
Let's play the trailer. How about that?
Fucking send it.
Miramax Films is proud to present one of the most celebrated motion pictures of the year. The winner of the 1994 Palme d'Or, the best picture of the Cannes Film Festival.
Come on, let's get in character. Why are you so interested in Big Man's wife? Well, he's going out of town, Florida, and he asked me if I'd take care of her while he's gone. Take care of her? No, man. Just show her a good time, make sure she don't get lonely. Girl, you see, this is a moral test of oneself.
I do believe Marcellus, my husband, your boss, told you to take me out and do whatever I wanted.
Whether or not you can maintain loyalty.
Night of the fight, you may feel a slight sting. Pride only hurts. It never helps. In the fifth, your ass goes down.
I have to say, play with matches, you get burned.
We should have shotguns for this kind of deal.
We're in a lot of danger, aren't we?
I'm prepared to scour the earth for that night.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Get down, get down. You got a corpse in a car, minus the head in the garage. Take me to it.
Don't you hate that?
Hey, what?
Uncomfortable silences.
John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Amanda Plummer, Maria de Medeiros, Bing Rames, Eric Stoltz, Rosanna Arquette, Christopher Walken, and Bruce Willis.
Looking at something, friend? Ain't my friend looking.
Die, you mother!
A new film directed by Quentin Tarantino. Pulp Fiction.
You really thinking about quitting?
Most definitely.
What's you gonna do then?
Basically, I'm just gonna walk the earth.
What you mean walk the earth?
You know, like Kane in Kung Fu.
Gentlemen, keep in mind, this got a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. I want you to think about that after we watch it and get our scores.